I've completed my modifications that I intend to make on the bike in order to meet the speeds that we're trying to get to and the periods of time we're trying to get to, the distances. Basically swapping out the chain rings for higher gearing to enable higher speeds. As I mentioned before, the top speed I was looking at being able to hit with the gearing I had was only about 135, and with the way I have it set up now, it should be closer to 160 to 165. The other thing I did was I completed the installation of the kill switch tether. Pulling on this will shut off the bike in an event of an emergency. We just wired it into the harness today, and it works pretty good. I've also got GPS set up here. I can turn it in a little bit to get it out of my way a little bit more. This can record some information for me as well as give me a better understanding of how my speedometer is matching up against what's really going on. As you switch the gearing, it impacts the speedometer as well. As the sensor is set up against the engine crank speed, not actual wheel speed or velocity as you're moving through time and space. So, as a result of all the changes I'm making, I don't actually know how fast I'm going just by looking at the speedometer. My buddy Aaron is going to set me up with a GoPro camera. Unfortunately, it will be a standard definition, but I'm hoping I can find a place somewhere to mount it. I'm not sure where. Maybe I can stick it on somewhere or underneath the windshield. Other changes I've made include swapping out an aftermarket exhaust and putting the stock back on. This way, if I do end up in the event of trying to set a land speed record, I'm eligible for the production class. And then lastly, I've just done some cleanup work, and again the gears, the shut off, the GPS setup. I do have a steering dampener here, which I can crank up just by twisting this dial, and that will help the bike manage the wobbles if there are bumps in the salt without me transitioning that and upsetting the chassis. So a little extra safety mechanism there. I'm hoping to burn off the fuel before I hit the event so I can put in some race fuel, and then the last thing I'll do is I'll take off the mirrors. They're still on because I have been doing a little bit of street riding. I did take it out for a shakedown today to see what it would be like, and from what I was able to assess, I could get to 100 in less than 0.2 miles with the gearing setup I've got, and I could get to 120 in fourth gear with less than half a mile. So the 130 club, not going to be a problem. I will get to 130 within a mile. There's no doubt about that. The 150 club is still a little bit further out. I don't feel comfortable trying to test that on the street or anything, so we're not going to know until we get there. But again, I'm running the 41 tooth rear, not the 40 rear, so I've got even a little bit more space there, and I have a 43 tooth rear that I can go to if I need to get there quicker. Just some clarifications for people that aren't real familiar with the land speed racing and salt flats. The Bonneville Salt Flats are one of the longest, flattest surfaces in the world, and as a result, they do a lot of land speed record racing testing there. All it is you're going straight out, flat, for a period of, or for a distance, you know, again, a mile, 2 miles, or 4, or even 7 miles, depending. And they measure your speed along the way, and if you have the best speeds through the traps, they have you do it twice, and they average the 2 runs, and that is how land speed records are set. It's not head-to-head competition. There's no turning, passing, or even braking, really. So I'm expecting to see just a very wide, long expanse of white salt, and you know, you take off at a pretty easy pace, not like a drag race, an easy roll-on, and then you pin it. And and just see how fast the bike can get you there. The things that I can control and things that I can do will include, being as aerodynamic as possible, tucking in, and then shifting at the bike's optimum shift RPMs. So I'll be doing some research and trying to remember those as I'm out there. My bike redlines at about 15,000 RPMs and tops out around 17,000, although the governor is sit around 16.5. So I'll be looking at what is the best shifting points to make sure that I can get there again quickest and fastest. The other mod I did was I just replaced the smoke screen that just was more of a cosmetic for this motorcycle, and I put the clear back on. Again, as you're racing, you want to be able to see where you're going, and as you're tucked in, again, you're going to have to look through the windscreen. This will be more or less the view that I've got as I'm running down the salt. Of course, it won't be in my washer and dryer. So that's the update. Bike's ready to go. It's Saturday, so we'll be buying provisions like food and Gatorade, stuff like that, tomorrow. Monday, we'll be starting to pack it up and heading out. Maybe I'll put up another update when we're about ready to go. It'll be about 600 miles to Bonneville, Utah, which is on the Nevada border. I expect it to take about 10 to 12 hours, depending on, weather, how much I need to brake just to keep awake, stuff like that. And that's about it. Websites that I've been using have been gearingcommander.com, which has given me all the information I've needed to buy the right parts. I've bought most of those parts from motorcyclesuperstore.com, with the exception of the kill switch, which came from Power Sports Superstore via the Amazon.com website. So look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.